When we think about LLDP and CDP, we think I can only see what's directly connected to my port. So for instance, if I do, let's do it on the branch router. If I do show LLDP neighbors, and this also applies to CDP, if I do that command on the branch, I'll see just the devices that are hanging off of the router. I won't see past those devices. So it's kind of like first hop visibility, not in terms of hop count like number of layer 3 devices, just talking, it just shows us the next networking device in the chain and nothing beyond it. So if I do show LLDP neighbors, I'm going to get a table of, or a legend. I'm going to get a legend up top. I'm going to get the host name of the devices, my local interface, their port back to me. Is it a bridge or is it a router? What's the hold time? That's the sort of information. Let's do this in our own environment now that we have LLDP running. Show LLDP neighbors. And I can see, this is funny, bridge. I've taught spanning tree so many times, and I've had people say, why are you saying bridge? Why are you saying root bridge? And, well, switches are a hardware version of a bridge, of an Ethernet bridge specifically. But I can see my local interface, that's my interface going there. And let's compare and contrast this. So I'm on DSW2, I've got some documentation. Gig 102 goes to gig 2. Yep, that looks right. So you can validate my topology if you so desire. But it looks good to me. I don't see any discrepancies. Okay, I'm still going to do show CDP neighbors. That's still going to be the command that I use. I prefer to call a switch by the kind of device, a switch. So we're getting the same kind of information. And I'm also seeing another device. I'm seeing R2, which is running CDP, but it's not running LLDP. And that's why there's a discrepancy between the two. And I'm not going to resolve that. So I'm just going to run LLDP in the switch block, but I'm not really going to be reliant on it. Let's do one up arrow, question mark. Do you want to get details? This is the other choice that we have. And this looks a whole heck of a lot like show CDP neighbors detail, right? You can see that I can see the specific chassis. It's interesting. I'm going to do a show version. Just want to do that. Show flash. Okay. So I can see operating systems that are running on side of my chassis. And what I actually detected was not what I was looking for. I'm actually going to be changing the operating system that I'm loading. I have 15.0 loaded but not running. So I'm going to do that in the background. That's the sort of thing that we can discover with show LLDP neighbors. I can see, oh, and specifically the detailed output. Tack on the detailed. Now my 3750s, they were properly loaded with 15.0 code. Great. But I did discover something in the background that I am going to fix, which is great. So you can see a lot of information, and this in fact is too much information to be shared. You may love the fact that you're sharing the specific platform, 3750E, the specific code. You can basically research that, find if there are bugs, and if there are bugs that can be exploited to your benefit, then that empowers you as a hacker. So I wish that was redacted from the advertisements, but we cannot do that. So LLDP and CDP are great tools that are available to you. CDP is running by default. LLDP, kind of the same beast. Now, the reason I would run LLDP is if some of my chassis weren't Cisco. That's the sort of impetus that I would need in order to say, yeah, okay, I want CDP functionality, but I can't get it there. Let's just run LLDP. And if I do run LLDP, I'm going to turn off CDP because I don't want both protocols running simultaneously. That's just extra noise and extra dependencies that I don't want in the mix.